Chapter 7. The carpenter was dressed in jeans, white t-shirts, and some tatty trainers. He sat despondently on a rock, staring at the calm sea with his head propped on his hands. Aren't you supposed to be wearing an old boxy hat? Asked Steve, determined to play the part of the walrus as best as he could remember, but only if everyone else tried. The hat's behind the rock. I can put that on when the time comes. The carpenter stood up and kicked at a small pebble before continuing in an impassioned tone. I really want a new job. I'm sick of standing on the shores wondering about what 7 maids with 7 mops. Another thing, you're going to have to eat all the oysters. I'm vegetarian these days. Butter and bread, yes. Seafood, no. Nowhere does it say I have to eat oysters if my conscience dictates otherwise. And we don't get paid till tomorrow. I can't afford to go out and buy anything else to eat until then. Pah! And he kicked a spume of sand into the sea at the shore's edge. Okay by me, said Steve. This is my first time on the job. I'm not really here anyway. I'm just dreaming all this. What? Said the carpenter, turning around from the sea and facing Steve. You're a freelancer? Oh, this is the last straw. Enough is enough. Steward! He yelled this last word at the top of his voice. Scarcely had Steve recovered enough to hear the sea again before a familiar smile started to fade in above the rock where the carpenter had been sitting. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, thought Steve, but the grin without a cat is the most curious thing I've ever saw in my life. Enough! Cried the carpenter, jumping up and down on the sand with little leaps of rage. Isn't it enough that you're that ridiculous blue without quoting from the wrong book? Rank amateurism. You hear that, don't you, Clive? This was addressed to the Cheshire Cat, which by now had fully materialised and was sitting on the rock, purring loudly and grinning fit to burst. Give the man a chance, Jim, it said through clenched teeth. It is his first day, and we are way in front of schedule. But the guy's not going to be a regular. He doesn't know what he's doing here. Ask him! And the carpenter glared at Steve. Is that so? Asked the cat of Steve, who was feeling the ends of his elongated tusks with long spiny flippers. Yes, I mean, I remember all this, but I'm just dreaming. I've never done it before, and I expect I'll wake up in a minute. You don't have a contract? Questioned the cat. Not with you, no, said Steve. This all started at the dentist's when he pulled a tooth and it went wrong. The change in the Cheshire Cat on the word dentist was remarkable. He sprang up, his back arched and his tail stuck out. He was not grinning now. A rictal smile which had no humour in it replaced all the congenial smirk. Dentists pull teeth, and a Cheshire Cat with no teeth can't grin, and a cat that can't grin loses its novelty value. A grin without a cat is amazing. A grin without teeth is a bit of a flop. It gets written out. I get written out. Calm down, Clive, said the carpenter, pleased now that the cat was against Steve. He didn't say he was a dentist, just that he'd been to one who landed him in this scrape. Can't you just get rid of him? I've been meaning to ask you about these oysters too. Wouldn't donuts scan just as well? The cat lowered its hackles. Well, he can't stay. I'll have words with the Reverend. And he disappeared in a trice, not bothering to fade or anything. I'm sorry, but we have a show to prepare. Perhaps when you've had a bit more dream experience, you can start as a flamingo, said the carpenter. I don't know, said Steve. I just want to wake up. You can't? No, I've tried. That's very odd. Something isn't quite right here. I'd see the egg if you've got time, said the carpenter with a frown. Come to think, where do you come from? I was in a grey place with grass and lots of stone and an orange fire, and then I fell down a hole to here. The carpenter's frown deepened. That sounds like limbo. A very strange place to start dreaming. The cat appeared again all of a sudden. He's off, Jim. I'm terribly sorry. Whatever your name is. Steve. Right, Steve, but you have to go. Union agreements and all that. But we're always keen to see new talent. Perhaps when you've had a few millennia under your belt, you could try again? Clive. And the carpenter motioned to the cat, who walked over and sat down by his side. The carpenter whispered into his ear. Limbo? Yes, I'll see if I can get him. The cat stood up. Come on, Steve, jump on my back and we'll sort this out. Steve thought this was a wonderful idea and waddled over. He leapt up, but being the walrus, couldn't get a hold of the cat's fur and fell off the other side, making a sizable dent in the sand. Oh, we need the walrus back anyway for someone else, especially since we need to clean off that colour. I'll get you a new body from the store. Right, that's done. Try again. Steve jumped again, and this time he found that human hands at his command were able to grasp the scruff of the cat's neck. On closer inspection, he seemed to be one of the Tweedle twins, but still, he was resigned to the fact by now, blue. Hey, how did I change body? More to the point, why didn't you change colour? Said the cat. We'd better get over to the egg and see what he's got to say. And with a bound, the Cheshire Cat sprang into the air, floating skywards with Steve on his back. Hold on, the carpenter called after them. What about me eating the oysters? I can't do it anymore. I'm a veggie. It's really screwing me up. Try some Thousand Island dressing, yelled the cat with its customary grin now firmly back in place. He's a bit of a moaner, is Jim, he remarked to Steve, but he does his job. What is his job? Asked Steve. I mean, this is all Alice, isn't it? Yes, we're very lucky to be on it. Most of the time, being a character in a book is no fun. There are some really nasty books, too. While the cat was talking, the countryside was slipping away below, all checkered patterns and trees. I thought books were just writing, said Steve, gripping tighter as the cat swerved past a small button-friendly cloud. I didn't realize they had real people in. Cats, I mean, he amended hastily. Well, not what you'd call real, but like dreams, it's real enough if you're there at the time. And here we are. The cat came to rest on a grassy knoll by a stone wall.